Hey students, welcome to a little bit of a home science activity that you can do really easily. Now what I have here are 3 different temperatures of water, okay? Now I'm using a beaker, but you can just use a glass at home. Now make sure you ask your parents for help before you start doing this experiment because it does require a little bit of hot water. So I have 3 temperatures of water. I have room temperature, cold, and hot. And the guiding question for this is, does temperature affect the density of water? Now, density is kind of like another fancy word for weight. We know that heavier things tend to sink in water, whereas more buoyant things tend to rise. So what we're going to do is just like really slowly add cold water and hot water. Now, I have these droppers, but you can actually just use a straw. There's a little trick, and I used to do this all the time when I was a kid, where you just kind of go in here, plug that up, and air pressure will actually hold that in for you. Now since this is cooler, I'm just going to go down and see if I can create a nice little layer down on the bottom there. See what happens is it's starting to sink to the bottom. I'm going to add a few more. And we're getting a nice little layer on the bottom there. You'll notice that some of the water still, some of the blue kind of stays on top still. That's just because it's starting to mix up. So if you do this too fast, it'll mix up and it won't work quite the way that you want. Now let's go with some hot water and watch the effect here. And we have to go fast because we don't want it's going to start trying to mix up. It's going to create some convection currents, meaning it wants to kind of swirl up and mix up on its own. There we go. So as you see, it's starting to create some layers, but the real mystery is, how does this actually work? You know, all my life people have been telling me that hot air rises and cool air sinks, but if they just say that, I don't really understand the science of it. It's more like a statement. So you can try this at home, experiment with it, do a little bit of research on it, and try to figure out exactly how does this work? Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you try this at home. Let me know how it goes.